Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the Standards Weekly Check-In. I'm Colin. Behind the camera we got Heavy Metal Dylan.
What's up?
Today we're going to be getting into some new arrivals, flipping through some recently priced records, getting into some staff picks, and addressing viewer questions at the end of the video. As always, if you see anything you like, you can hit the DMs on Instagram, you can give the shop a ring, or you can just cruise by. We're open 11 to 8, 7 days a week. Without further ado, Dylan, people are waiting.
Yes.
They want to know.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
I'm glad you asked. I'm listening to the English Dogs today. Didn't listen to this record because I did not know we had it inside, but I've been listening to this record. A few spins, 2 LPs. Still a great LP.
Oh, this is a double LP?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I believe this contains, this is Invasion of the Porky Men and then Mad Punks and English Dogs is the first EP. So this is actually this album, which is a very long album and has weird production, and I like it. And then there's the Mad Punks and English Dogs, which is like the 8-song EP, which I think recently got reissued on its own. Which makes me think I don't know if I need to carry it if we still have copies of this double LP.
Yeah.
That is, they don't get the respect.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. It's hard to say. When I saw them in 2012,
oh, that was
it's like they're on tour with the Casualties.
yes.
And whoever booked it I understood why you would put the
Right.
English Dogs last, but Casualties played and everyone left.
Yeah.
Which was the saddest moment I've ever seen. Or,
Disrespect.
yeah, disrespectful moment.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, these guys came from England, bro.
No.
Yeah, and it was sad.
I was at that show.
Crazy.
10 out of 10 show.
It was.
They were so goddamn good, and
Yeah.
no one was there, and it was at the epicenter. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. This record leans a little bit more towards the material that I think they're best known for. I think this is, I ride really hard for pretty much all their 80s records. I think that's the best single serving of their sound. It's just an EP, but it's that record made a convert out of me. That record really made me rethink music, life.
Yeah.
That sold me on the galaxy brain concept of crossover metal, specifically from the punk side of the aisle, as opposed to a thrash metal group incorporating crossover sounds. And I think that's as I age, as my beard grows,
Yes.
as I get gray,
Your wizard hat.
my
Robe.
robe. It's the best music, and English Dogs are one of the best bands to ever do that. And for whatever reason, they will not get the respect they deserve, I don't think, which is unfortunate. I mean, SACRILEGE, Barookers, any of those groups, you could put them in the same, and I don't think those groups get enough love either, frankly.
You don't think the Barookers get enough love?
Not nearly, nor SACRILEGE. Thankfully, their stuff has been reissued and it's more available and everything. But that's the world should stop to celebrate SACRILEGE Day once a year.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful music in the world. I get really angry thinking about
Sacrilege.
it. Yeah, basically UK
Barookers.
crossover.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
Galaxy Brain too.
Yeah.
You could have this conversation all day long. You could
I
talk
know,
about
I've had it with you before.
we could talk about what was going on in New York at the time. That's kind of runs as an interesting counterpoint to that. This is the pivot point of my whole life, right there on that record. And that's that EP specifically that ruined my life, wrecked my brain.
Anyway, what are you listening to?
Elvis Costello is my aim is true. I don't know if I ever talked about this record, but I realized kind of oddly, I've been listening to more of his catalog lately, and I was his other records, they got songs that are good, but I was something's off. And then I go back to listen to this, and I was oh, this is an album. Start to finish, the production, it has its own feel to it. It's just a masterfully crafted album. And whereas the others are just kind of collections of songs.
Yeah.
A little respect for the first Elvis Costello records, and then awkwardly throwing shade at the rest of them, but that's fine. Let's flip through some records.
All right.
Do you mess with Elvis Costello?
Not heavy. I like some songs, and I like that one record.
Yeah, I like to think of an alternate universe where the post Bob Dylan songwriting goes in that direction a little more, as opposed to Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty.
Yeah.
John Mellencamp, I think, often gets brought up as one of Dylan's sons, but I like the Elvis Costello strain. A little bit more biting, but it never won.
You don't think?
I mean, what venues is Elvis Costello filling out? What venues is Bruce Springsteen filling out? Not mean, mate.
The
bloke.
Greek theater. Elvis Costello's British? I always thought he was an American guy.
No, I think he just worships American stuff like rock and roll.
Makes sense.
Buddy Holly. Could be wrong. I like to not know anything about these guys.
Leaves some mystique.
Who needs Wikipedia?
Yeah.
You got, Wisdompedia.
Yeah.
I have this idea that I've been toying with in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a concept. I think, watching all these movies and stuff and listening to all this music, which I just started to do recently.
Yeah, you started listening to music and watching movies.
I think the through line, as far as like what gets critical acclaim, what makes something artsy versus populist, the key is ambiguity.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave things vague, if things are a little less structured, then I think they're considered artistic or have some sort of merit ascribed to them that isn't there for like just blunt, black and white, here's how it is. And you can kind of go down the line. Big blockbuster movies where it's like, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, I'm gonna beat you to defend my family, and that's what the movie's about. And then like these art house movies that no one watches, it's just like, I don't think I like you anymore as much as I used to. And then the movie just ends. And that's considered artistic because it's ambiguous. And music, on one end of the spectrum, I think the least ambiguous thing you can have is a song. 3 minutes, first chorus. Very structured. And like pop music, I think, isn't really thought of as seriously as like the other end of the spectrum, which would be like jazz music, which is completely unstructured. More, if you will, ambiguous. Just sounds, man. It's not locked into anything. You know how that connects to Elvis Costello?
What?
Very structured. Very song oriented. Even a Bob Dylan he'll have these like long rambling songs that just go on. And that's kind of considered more artistic than like John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
That's my insight. That's my wisdom. Viewer questions. This is the part of the bid where we answer questions left in last week's YouTube comment section. This time around, Muscle hitting us with a 2-pack. 2 for 1, baby. He says there's a palpable feeling of FOMO in the vinyl community, and what is the cure? I have good news. I have an answer. Dylan, you ready?
Yes.
Never pay more than the retail price for records pressed in the 21st century. Allow me to repeat myself. Never pay more than the retail price, that is MSRP or whatever the new cost is, for records manufactured this century that we're in. If you want to buy really expensive records from the past, go for it. You know, you OG Blue Note collectors, you do your thing. Other than that, just don't do it. And more likely than not, they'll press more anyways.
Well, what if, like, I want the pink vinyl and that's the one that's more expensive?
Yeah, don't do that.
You're right.
Don't fall for that trap. Old shit, fun. Have every country pressing of every Beatles record. Dedicate your life to that. Only listen to the Beatles. The answer is only listen to the Beatles.
Honestly, it's not a bad call.
You can branch out.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back. McCartney puts out a new album.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be really good because it's McCartney.
Yeah.
Get every version of it. Pay a lot of money. And then you'll be broke, and then you won't be able to
buy other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Just all Beatles stuff.
Yes.
They re-release Abbey Road. 42 LP set. He also asks if a 45 RPM record significantly increases sound quality. And this, I'll be very serious about this. Serious mode. No. Here's the thing. Physics dictates longer album, more crunched together grooves, because you only have a certain amount of space you can fit on a record. So when you buy like a 12-inch single with like 3 minutes of music, 6 minutes of music, 5 minutes of music on a 12-inch disc, it's going to sound really good. It's probably also going to be cut on 45. Correlation, which does not equal causation for those not in the know, might lead you to believe, wow, this sounds better, thus 45 RPM better. Here's the thing, there's a lot, it all boils down to the skill of the person cutting the record, ultimately. There's, the quality of the recording, the mastering. There's a lot of steps along the way that can make or break the sound quality of a vinyl. If it was as simple as putting it at 45, then everything would just be at 45 as default. And you'll see these hacky companies kind of get in on this misconception and press records that could be perfectly fine on a single disc. Oh, but it's on 45 now. It's on 45 and it's 3 discs, so now you have to pay 3 times as much. And you know what? It will probably sound better, but not because the 45 RPM sound better, but because people don't know how to cut records right. Listen to Velvet Underground and Nico. That's like a 50+ minute album pressed on a single disc. You can go into the 80s and listen to Hypnotize, right, from Def Leppard. 60-minute album, single disc, 33 RPMs. Sounds better than any record you'll buy this year. It's just because you had a really well-oiled machine that was the record manufacturing industry back in the day, and you couldn't have corner cutting or half-assing going on. And so when you get a record that sounds good, it's because someone knows how to craft, and you get that lightning in a bottle, great sounding record. Don't listen to the hype. Shorter records will sound longer and more dynamic, but that's not to say that you can't make a longer album fit on a single disc and have it sound great. Did I belabor the point?
If you feel like you're done with your answer and you feel safe with it.
Safe? Is that the word? I'm comfortable.
Okay.
All right. I'm comfortable. I hope that was, enlightening for anyone still listening. I feel like it was probably tuned out. Not at all?
Not at all.
Okay, I'll believe that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions you would like to see answered in next week's video, leave a question or comment in the YouTube comment section. We'll get to it next week. Thanks for watching. Peace. That ruined my life.